The antique shop was shrouded in shadow. Dust motes danced in the slivers of sunlight that pierced the grimy windows. Daniel, a young man with a thirst for the unusual, cautiously stepped inside. The air was thick with the scent of aged wood and forgotten things. He ran a hand along a shelf, his fingers tracing the contours of a chipped porcelain doll. His eyes fell upon a tarnished silver watch, nestled in a velvet-lined box. It was unlike any he'd seen before. The face was blank, save for a single crimson hand. He picked it up, the metal cold against his palm. As he fastened it around his wrist, he felt a strange hum, a faint vibration that seemed to resonate deep within his bones. Daniel dismissed it as a trick of his imagination. Little did he know, the watch held a power beyond his wildest dreams. It possessed the ability to stop time, to freeze the world for a fleeting 60 seconds. But this gift, as he would soon discover, was a double-edged sword. At first, the power was exhilarating. Daniel used it for harmless pranks, freezing time to tie his roommate's shoelaces together or swap the sugar for salt. Each tick of the crimson hand, each stolen second, fueled his arrogance. He grew bolder, using the watch to gain an advantage in exams, even to win a card game against a group of shady characters at a back-alley bar. But the more he tampered with time, the more he noticed unsettling anomalies. During those frozen seconds, when the world should have been still, he began to glimpse fleeting movements, shadows that flickered at the edge of his vision, whispers that seemed to slither from the very air itself. He tried to ignore them, to convince himself it was just his imagination playing tricks. But deep down, a seed of unease had been planted. The watch, once a source of amusement, now felt heavy on his wrist, a constant reminder of the secrets it held. One day, the watch activated on its own. Daniel watched in horror as the crimson hand began to move, ticking away the seconds until the world around him froze. He was trapped, a prisoner in a silent, motionless tableau. Panic welled up inside him, threatening to consume him. That's when he saw them, the figures from the shadows, no longer fleeting glimpses, but solid apparitions, their eyes hollow and black, fixed on him with an unnerving intensity. They moved with unnatural grace, gliding through the frozen landscape. Their whispers, once faint, now echoed in his ears. They spoke of a cycle, of a watch passed down through generations, each owner doomed to repeat the same fate. They spoke of a debt that needed to be repaid, a price for tampering with forces beyond human comprehension. As the last grain of sand slipped through the hourglass of time, the world lurched back into motion. The figures vanished, leaving Daniel standing alone, his heart pounding in his chest. He tore the watch from his wrist, flinging it into the depths of a nearby river. But he knew with a certainty that chilled him to the bone that it wasn't over. His reflection in the rippling water was no longer his own. His eyes, once filled with youthful naivete, now held a flicker of something ancient and knowing. He was part of something bigger, something sinister, and there was no escape. He was now a link in the chain, bound to the watch and its secrets. The cycle had continued.